Hey mates, and welcome to a box opening video. I'm your host Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be opening the G.I. Joe Classified Series Irongranadier Destro with Disspoiler. I don't know what a Disspoiler is, but today we're going to learn all about it. I hear it's a retool of the carriage that came with Serpentor. And now I've never seen that thing. I haven't put my hands on it, so I've got no idea. I am at a loss on what this is actually going to be. So today, you're joining me in a blind box opening for me to experience something I've never experienced before. So I hope that you enjoy the video. I hope that you like, share, and subscribe. Comment below and tell me, what do you think of the G.I. Joe Classified Series Disspoiler? Do you like where the Irongranadiers are going? Because I tell you, I'm looking forward to that general lady or admiral lady that they just announced. That's another Irongranadier, and it's going to be perfect for the collection. I just wish I got this thing came with an Irongranadier Baroness. I think that would have also been pretty cool. But I'll take my flight suit Baroness because she's just such an awesome figure. I love the flight suit Baroness. Anyway, let's get into today's video without further ado. And if you're wondering where you found yourself, hi, I'm Blind Prime. The channel's actually going to be changing its name soon to Blindformers because it's just easier for people to find it on the internet. I've been doing a lot of surveying on that one, asking people, look for me on YouTube. And if I give them blind_prime, they take a bit to find me. But if I give them Blindformers, they find me like that because of my Blindformers episodes. So just an alert to all of you out there. The channel may be changing its name soon, so don't be scared if it does. All right, let's open this up, and let's pull this guy out. So the thing I love about the G.I. Joe figures, one of the things when it comes to their packaging, is they always have these tabs. So you just got to find the tab, and you just pull it from its tab. We just got to locate the tab. First, maybe, where is that tab? Because there it is, look at that. There's always a tab that you can grab and assist you in pulling your packaging out. And I really appreciate that little attention to detail. Like, that's been the big thing about this line, is the attention to detail, and that's something that I really do like about it. Now let's open this guy up all the way. Let's make sure nothing's left in the box. There is something left in the box. We're going to set the box over here to the side because we don't need it right now. Okay, so we've got a big old box of thing. It reminds me of the Vamp and whatever the Cobra version of the Vamp is called. The Stinger. I think that's it. It reminds me of the packaging for that. It's about the same size as those packagings. And we reach in here, we get a cool little throne chair and stuff like that. But we're gonna actually open all this stuff up in a bit. I want to go through the accessories first. So we're gonna set the big box over to the side, and let's open up the little box. Look at this. It's one of those little crate things that we used to get all the time. I did kind of like them. I just wish that they had been designed better so that they actually kind of worked like crates. That would have been really cool. And the fact that they taped it together really does suck. So we just got to push down on it a bit to make that tape come off just a bit. And we can take and slowly, so we don't rip any of the cardboard. Cream, get out of the Cream, no, don't bite my nose. No, Cream, you want to help? No, you just want to kiss my hand. Okay. You kiss the hand that feeds you. Nice. All right, there we go. We got it. I don't think we damaged any of the. We didn't damage any of it. Okay, so let's come around here to this side and see if we can pull it down all the way. We're just going to remove one of these pieces of tape. And it's the way this box was designed that I don't. I never was like, I wish they had built it different. They just designed this box a little bit better. It could have been something really, really cool. And when they took them away, I was like, well, that's kind of a good riddance moment, because the box wasn't as cool. And they were like, we gave you a footlocker, and then it wasn't like a footlocker at all. It was just a box. And I'm like, yeah, it's just a box. Okay, stash the tape away somewhere where it won't get on my. Actually, here you go, Cream. Yeah, have some tape on your paw. There. Yeah, you're too hairy. It won't stick. Okay. But it will stick to me. Now let's open this box up and see what we get inside, huh? Alright, so we're going to peel that side open there. We're going to get this side to open over here. Come on. Come on now. There it goes. Alright, let's see what we get inside of the box of accessories. All right, because Destro does like to accessorize, we've got this baggie filled with stuff. I missed the paper. The paper was nice for these bits. Like, we didn't want you to go plastic free. We just wanted you to use less plastic. And it's the little bags like this that people had a problem with. They didn't have a problem with the plastic shells that carry everything. They had a problem with these little bags. All right, so we get a bomb. Well, we've gotten this type of weapon before. I think this came with the hang glider. So we've gotten that type of bomb before. Does he have a second one in here? He's got another one. Oh, this one's a bigger one. This is like a smaller version of one of the ones that came with the Raptor. So not Raptor, the Rattler. So that's a longer bomb missile. That's a missile. The other one's a bomb. Now let's see. We've got another missile. So that's 2 missiles and 1 bomb. And we've got another bomb. So that's, or is it a missile? I don't know. It's got a rounded back, so I'm calling them bombs. Okay, so we got 2 bombs and 2 missiles. Do we get a third missile? We get a third bomb. All right, so that's a third bomb. And then we get a 4th bomb. Okay, 4th bomb. We're getting a lot of bombs here. There's a 5th bomb. Holy crap. Okay, we get a 6th one. Good grief. Cream, I'm counting bombs here. What are you doing? Love you too, cat. Get out of the way. No, Cream, you can't love on the bombs. They're unstable. All right, so we get 6 bombs, and then 2 of what in the world? What are these things? We get 2 of them, but I don't know what they are. Why? These are weird feeling things. I wonder what these are for. Weird. They're like, they could be bombs. They could be something else. I don't know. These things could be attachments for other things. I don't know. But we get 2 of them, and they're weird. Let's see. Are they as big as the other bombs? Let's see. They're smaller than the bombs. What in the world are these? So we get 6 bombs, 2 missiles, and 2 question mark? Okay. Now, let's, that packaging's done. What else came in here? What else came in this big old thing? Oh, yeah, here we go. Here's some more stuff, but this is all the stuff. There's nothing else in this big old box. Kind of sad. Anticlimactic in a way. I was hoping for more in this big old box. Let's go ahead and trim you. Yeah. All right, there we go. All right, let's rip this bag open and pull out whatever in the world these things are. So we get 2 of these things in this bag, and they're like wings. So we get two teardrop-shaped wings. Neat. They got angles to the sides of them. I wonder how they're going to attach there and there. Yeah, those are the little spots cut out of the plastic that seem like attachment points, which makes this the end. Okay, so both of those wings will... Now look, you put them together right now, you get a little delta pattern. Woo! Okay, so those are the 2 wings we're going to have to do. I don't know if there's anything with the difference between front and back. I'm hoping that there's not. Or there probably is. There's not a real way to figure out which one's the left one and which one's the right one. Okay, so I hope Cream's not going to mess with them, but I'm going to set the missiles down here. And I'm going to set the missile here. And I'm going to take all of our bombs, all 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. They're easy to tell because they had those rounded bottoms. So 6 bombs, and then whatever in the world these 2 things are. We're going to set all those things down there so they're out of the way. Where's the little wings? Did I set the wings down there? Or have I not set the wings down there yet? Where'd I put the wings? Here's the wings. Wings are going to go down there. Now, let's get to the Disspoiler. Or maybe we'll get to the Destro. Oh, Destro has some accessory bits. Isn't that nice? He's got a little accessorizing to do. Okay, Destro, can we pull you out of this little area? Yes, we can. Okay. What is that? Is that soft goods? Destro, you have soft goods? Destro, my man. All right. Why are your soft goods all trailing out down there? Oh, I hope I don't rip them. So let's go ahead and get the Destro out. So, Cream, Okay, so let's go ahead and get this guy out, and be careful about the soft goods. We don't want to damage his soft goods now, do we? I know I don't. He's got a... That's his foot. Cream. You trying to help? Ooh, that's loud. Ah, Cream! Don't you see what I'm trying to... I'm trying to get Destro out here? Okay. Let's go ahead and pull him out without damaging his soft goods. Be careful with it. We got the soft goods out. Oh, he's got a little half cloak. People have been calling it a half cloak. It feels to me more like a sash or something. But I think we're supposed to put one side of the cloak over his arms. Let's see. How does a half cloak work? Okay, so you got two little pieces here, right? Or is that just one piece? Cream, do you like the Destro? Destro wants to pet the Cream. Yes. Destro will scratch behind Cream's ear. Ah, don't bite my nose. Don't bite my nose. He likes biting my nose. Okay. We're just going to sling that cape over the side of you on this side here. Or does it sling better on the other side? No, it seems like it slings good on this side. So let's play with the cape for a second. Get that right. Okay, so that's our Destro. Irongranadier version. He definitely feels different than the Pimp Daddy Destro I've got, who's been my only Destro. So, Prophet Director Destro, and now armored up Irongranadier Destro, and I like Irongranadier Destro. I like how he's... Where the other one felt like he's regal and he's coming in to negotiate. This one feels like negotiations have broken down, and it's now time for Destro to whip out his guns. So, that's a cool Destro. I like the cape. I like the textures for his armor. He's got some really cool stuff going on here. But we're not really here for Destro today. So Destro, you're going to go here. We're definitely going to do like a little review on Destro later. First off, we're going to see if Destro can actually stand up straight. Destro, can you stand up straight? You know, that is one of the first questions we should be asking about you, sir. Do you have the ability to stand? He does! Yay! Okay. So, that's the Destro. He's a pretty cool little guy. We're going to set him back in his little spot in this packaging over here. Now let's talk about Destro's accessories, because there were more accessories in that spot than I was expecting. And I was actually expecting his soft goods to be an accessory you had to add to him. But apparently you don't need to worry about that. It's already attached, and isn't that cool? Now, we've got these guys here. If I can get this bag to open. Bag. How come sometimes plastic wants to open easily, and then like halfway through opening, the plastic goes, you know what, I decided to stay closed. Alright, so we've got a crazy bent gun? What in the world? Oh, it's a sword sheath. Oh, isn't that cool? And I'm guessing it's supposed to attach somewhere on Destro. So we'll figure out how to attach that on Destro. So that's a cool sword in a neat sheath. And then we've got this. Whoa, what is this? This is a bulky shield. This is a very bulky shield. When they were saying we got a shield with this guy, you know, I was expecting something like the shields you got with the He-Man figures, but this is not what I was expecting. Are these guns? Does he have guns hiding under his shield? Destro, your shield is epic. So, he comes with an amazing shield. Let's see, we'll go ahead and put the shield on his arm. I think it clasps onto his forearm, and then this little handle bit. I think the best way to do it is actually to put his hand in the handle and then clasp the shield on his forearm. And I do wish that they had given him something other than trigger fingers for one of his hands so that, you know, he could hold this shield a little bit better. But that trigger finger thing definitely does not make it easy. And it falls off because I didn't put it on right. One more time before we move on, let's try to put this hand, which doesn't really feel quite right, into this shield. Okay, so Destro, your hand, it's got to go in the shield. All right, so let's get this right. Okay, so we're going to bend the thumb over the edge of the shield, There we go. Okay, now we're going to attach the shield to your forearm. Come on. Come on now. There we go. There we go. Attach to forearm. Attach to forearm. There it is. We got it. Okay, so that's his shield and forearm where he can raise his arm up and just kind of blow you away with that. And his hand came undone from the handle again. Okay. It's a very weird shield, and I think the best way for the shield to have worked better is if they had given us a C-clasp hand instead of a trigger finger hand. The trigger finger hand's definitely not helping the shield. There it goes. Okay, so there's the shield on his arm. I think his sword's supposed to attach to this little strip of cloth, maybe? I don't know how his sword is supposed to attach to his side. So we got the sword here. Does it just kind of hook onto his does it just hook onto his gun holster, maybe? Like that? Maybe? No, it doesn't feel like that's the right way. It feels more like it's supposed to hook on. Maybe it's supposed to slip under the gun sheath. The kind of gets it, but that's not right either. Where does your sheath fit on your body? Wait. What's up with this weird thing over one of your shoulders, but not really the other shoulder? There's this big old pauldron. No. Okay, so I'm going to have to play with this one off camera a bit and figure out where in the world I'm supposed to put his sword to make sure that Destro can hold the sword and the shield together. So, Destro, you going to stand up straight for me, buddy? Huh? Lower that arm. Lower that arm. There you go. All right, now let's see what else we get in this packaging. He should have gotten a little pistol. Where is his little pistol? Did I forget? Is it locked away in the plastic? Did I miss it? Because he should have gotten a gun and another head. Should have gotten a spare head and a little pistol. Oh, here they are. Okay, totally missed them. So here's his little pistol. Come on, little gun. Come on, little gun. Wait, this gun does not want to come out of this little packaging area. There it goes. Oh. There was a little strap in there holding it down. Weird. Okay, so it comes with a little Luger-like pistol. I think it looks pretty cool. It's got some nice textures to it. So let's go ahead and slip that into the sheath on his side. I do like the fact that he has a... Oh, and his sheath just fell down his leg. I like that his sheath... not his sheath. His holster for his gun has this little strap piece on it. We can actually drag that over and kind of snap that in place to hold his gun down. I think that's neat. I like that it has a safety strap. And then he comes with another head. Here it is. Here's his other head. Totally missed it. My bad. Not much difference between the heads, I think. But that's neat. We get a second head for Destro. So, now, we've talked about Destro. We've talked about his extra head. We've talked about his cool pistol. So, let's gonna put Destro here. No, don't fall forwards. Why do you keep wanting to fall forwards, Destro? There. And we're going to put his extra head is going to fall on the floor next to Destro, and his sword is going to go there. Let's get to the Disspoiler now. Okay, here's the Disspoiler, and oh boy, how do I even get this out of the packaging? This is going to take a little work, I think. So we've got this little box bit back here we got to untangle from itself, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, there we go. That little box bit is unhitched. So this little box bit, does it hold anything in it, or is it just kind of there to help stabilize? It's just there to help stabilize things. We don't need to worry about that bit. This little box bit, you're here in the other end because you're covering something, so let's go ahead and split you apart so we can free up that spot. We freed up the nose. Okay, over here we got a little box bit, but it's not holding the figure in place at all. Over here we've got a... Ooh, what is that? That's neat. Let's go ahead and cut that open. Let's see. Alright, so we'll slip the scissors in on either side of that little... There it goes. Okay, and we're going to slip the scissors in on either side over here. We need to. Yeah, we didn't need to. Okay, so this is a weird little armor piece thing. This is cool. This is really cool. I like its textures. I really do like the textures. And there's the herringbone. So this is one of the wings that holds the weapons. So we're gonna set that off to the side where Cream usually sleeps, seeing as he's getting explorative and not in his normal spot. What are you doing over there, Cream? All right, let's go ahead and get this other winglet thing done. Where's my scissors, my sizors? And let's go ahead and snip this one. And we're gonna go ahead and pull that out. There it is. So there's the other little wing thing. We can set that off to the side. Okay, now how are we supposed to get the main guy out of here? Okay, ooh, this guy's got cords holding him down. So let's see if we can snip the cords. Actually, it's always better if we just flip him upside down. And we can come around here to the back end of the cords and we just untangle them from each other. They're usually just spun up and wrapped around. They rarely are tied, except today they're tied. I mean, they usually just twist them up really tight and leave it. But today, what did you just launch across my table? Okay, so there's one cord clipped. There's the other cord clipped. Were there any more cords? No, we could hopefully just let this guy rest, and there it goes. There we go. One smooth motion. We have freed the Disspoiler. Let's check inside this box for anything remaining. Because there could be a piece of plastic in this box I'm not seeing, and I'm glad I checked because there indeed is. Is there anything over here? Or is that the only thing that I felt that needs to be pulled out separately? Okay, we got this one little gun thing. I don't even know how I'm supposed to get that out of the packaging. Let's make sure there's nothing over here. Okay, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Nothing there. We just got to worry about this guy here. How do we even get this guy out? I don't even know what this thing is. We gotta figure out how to get it out of the packaging. So around here on the back end, we've got, oh, there we go. Okay, so there's a spot. All right, where's my sizors? Where are my sizors at? There's my sizors. Cream, get out of the way. I'm using sizors. Cream, get out of the way. I'm using sizors. Ah, nuts. It didn't cut. There it goes. I cut it. Okay, now we need, is there another one? Do we need to cut the other one? We'll see in a second. Okay, so maybe we need to cut the other one. Nope, we don't. All right, we've got this big honkin' sword. Good grief, it's a big sword. That's what was hiding down here. Destro, you have a giant sword you weren't telling anybody about. We're going to call this sword Baroness's Dirty Little Secret. Yeah, that's what I'm calling the sword from now on. Okay, so those are the two wing things. Okay, so we're going to put Baroness's Dirty Little Secret down here off to the side. And because, wow, that is, this is a claymore. You ever want to know, like, what is a real claymore? A claymore is a sword that when you put the pommel down on the ground, the point of it is almost at the top of your head. That is a claymore. Destro, you have a true claymore. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at this spoiler. Figure out what in the world I bought. Because I still don't know. Oh, look, he's got little jets on the bottom to lift him upwards. Isn't that cute? Let's see. We got a thing down here. What is this? Is that guns? You got guns? You got double guns, double barrel guns. I think. Maybe not because they don't have little spots to plug explosives in. But maybe they are. Maybe they're guns. They kind of feel like guns, though their sculpt work is abysmal. I don't know why it has to be. Unless, of course, it was supposed to be for a chariot, like carry things. I don't know. Let's come around here and figure out how to assemble this guy. Okay, so he's got these rockets in the back. 4 rockets in the back. And he apparently came, I don't know if he came with any blast effects. I didn't find any blast effects, that is. So there's his, here's his little spot where he sits. And that, yeah, it doesn't have You can't move the controls around. Oh, such a shame. Okay. I mean, it's smooth, it's sleek. We've got some really cool detailing in the sculpting. There are some rivets, but not really as many as we've kind of grown used to. This guy feels very smooth. And where are my nice rivets? You know, I got the Rattler here. I'm touching him. He's got rivets everywhere. And there's not that many rivets this time. And you know how I praise the rivets on their aircraft. I love the rivets. So I'm a little upset they don't have the rivets now. What was that? What did you just knock over? What was that even doing there? Set that over there. Okay. Let's try to put this guy together now. I'm going to assume that the pointed bit of the wing stretches forwards. And that means that this is going to be the right-hand wing, and I got to figure out how to put it into the figure. Okay, maybe it slips in right here on this little groove. We'll see. There's a little groove on the side that seems like maybe we can fit things into. There it goes. Yeah, look at that. And it actually folds down. No, wait. No, I didn't get it right. Let's see. Something's wrong here. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. Okay. There it goes. There it is. No, nuts. All right. Is that on? It's not on very well. But these guys usually snap into place so well you can never actually pull them apart again. So I think I'm doing something wrong. I believe I'm doing something wrong here. But I'm not sure what I'm doing that's wrong. Unless, of course, this is supposed to go this way. But I don't think that doesn't feel right. But we'll see. We'll see if I'm putting it on backwards. So we're going to put it on the other way and see if it fits better like this. If it does, then I was putting it on backwards the entire time. I was. For some reason, this is the correct way. Okay. Alright, I'll deal. Neat. Yeah, there's rivets on the wings, thankfully. I do like my rivets, so I'm happy to have some rivets on the wings. A rivet, rivet, rivet. Now let's put this one on this side. So, yeah, there was a right way and a wrong way to do it, and you gotta curl the wing backwards. So that little curve in the wing goes backwards, and this little flat spot in the wing that I thought was in the back end of it's actually on the front end of it. You know, the more you know, right? Knowing is half the battle. Okay. There it goes. Okay, and are you going to be in now? No? No? You're just not wanting to attach over here. What's going on with you, sir? Come on. Come on. Come on now. This guy came in. He's solid. Why aren't you solid? What is lacking on you on this side? There it goes. There it goes. Finally, we got him. Okay, so he's now got his wings for his big old boat of a vehicle. Very weird. And these big front bits. What in the world am I supposed to plug into those? No way. No way. Where are the weird things? Remember the weird things? Here's the weird things. Let's see. Do the weird things plug into those? They do. The weird things plug into those two holes. Where's the other weird one? Come here, weird one. Here he is. The weird ones go in to these guys. Okay, that makes sense. Figured out the weird ones. The weird bomb-like ones. They go there. Okay. I like it. I like it. Now we got to figure out what to do with all of our bombs. Here we go. Okay, so 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8. It's got 8 little spots. So let's flip him upside down real quick. And let's plug in all of his little weapons. So we've got the big missile. And if we feel on here, we get 3 tiny herringbones. And we get 1 big herringbone. So we get big herringbone to big herringbone. Now, I'm assuming we can move these missiles around between different figures. So if you don't want him to have this missile loadout, you can most likely switch that around. And, oh, I hope I didn't install these wings backwards. Ooh, I hope I did not install these wings backwards. Did I install these wings backwards? Okay. Please tell me you can go in the other way too. And if you can't, then I install these wings backwards, and I've got to fix that. Oops. Okay, apparently they can be installed backwards. So we're going to pull the wings out. There it goes. They pulled out pretty easily too. Nice. I'm used to my G.I. Joe Classified kind of being, once they're constructed, they're stuck. So let's try this again. Okay, I thought it looked wonky the other way, and it did look wonky the other way. Blind people problems. It isn't like I can read the instructions. But in my defense, the G.I. Joe Classified line usually makes these things very unique so that you can't plug the left-hand side into the right-hand side, because the left-hand side can only fit into the left-hand side. So I'm going to say, G.I. Joe Classified, you engineers let me down here. You engineers let me down here. You usually are very good about making sure that the one side can only plug into the other side and not vice versa. But this time we had to, pull it apart and fix our problems. Okay, there. We've got them fixed. Wings are good. Let's flip them back over and let's assemble him again. Yeah, blind perspective kind of thing. Okay, so line up the herringbone there, and kind of neat that the back end of the herringbone is larger than the front end, or vice versa, so that you can't plug these missiles in backwards. You just can't do it. So that really helped me in figuring out which side was the right side and which side was the wrong side. Because the missiles aren't supposed to face backwards, unless, of course, Destro is known for running, which Cobra Commander is known for running. Destro is known for fighting until the fight becomes too expensive. And once he starts losing money, then he tactically retreats. Destro does not run. Alright, so there's that tiny little bit. Okay, we're just going to add one little bomb. And I get why this is called the Disspoiler. With all these bombs, he can really just spoil any Joe's afternoon. This is definitely the spoiler of the day. He's gonna mess up the Joe's 4th of July barbecue. All right, there we go. There's the other missile. Number 5 plugged in, and finally number 6. Where's number 6? Cream, what did you do with the 6th missile? Cream, where is that 6th missile at? Here it is. Okay, not missile, bomb. All right, so number 6 is installed. Okay, so all of his explosive ordnance is installed on the machine. There we go. And now we got to figure out where these 2 little wings go. We got these 2 little wings, and I'm assuming they're going to fit somewhere back here. And look at that. There's a line right there, which I'm wondering is the right size for that. It is! Okay. Now, we're going to do this one on this side. We're going to line it up, and there we go. There we are. I like that. I like both of those. That's nice. Now, let's get your shield off your arm. Bend your arms. Let's see, bend your leg. Bend your other leg. I really like the fact that he's got his soft goods so that you can put him into his seat and kind of shift the soft goods around so he's sort of sitting on them. There they go. And we can go ahead and plug his hands into the controls. And this is where Destro will live. At least this Destro, because this is really cool. And I have to say, I got a few problems with this figure overall because of the fact that, this is definitely not on the realism levels of the others, and the way this joystick is made is very difficult to get his hand to wrap around it. And it's not smaller at the top. So there we go. There we are. And that is Destro inside of his Disspoiler. Can't really get his hands around the joysticks too well, because the joysticks are a little too big for his hands.
That is a missed opportunity. And the fact that they don't move very much, they're actually rubberized plastic just kind of attached. So you can kind of bend them around if you wanted to. But they're too thick. Getting his hand to wrap around that joystick is a pain. Come on, there it goes. There we are. I got his hand around one joystick. Now let's get his hand around the other joystick so that he's actually utilizing this machine. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, and that one's not even really completely around it, but oh well. My thoughts on this. This figure is unique, to say the least. This is a very unique vehicle. It doesn't have a top section. This kind of reminds me of the Masters of the Universe chair that has the spinning blades around it, and you drive it around and everything spins around. That's kind of the impression I'm getting from this. It's like a throne inside of a vehicle, and I wish there was a cover, like, because this is such a deep vehicle. He could have sat deeper into it, and they could have given us a canopy to cover his head. I do not like the fact that there isn't a canopy, because I have been collecting more of the, well, kind of real-life vehicles. Like, there's just something about the G.I. Joe Classified line, and the fact that most of these vehicles, at least flying-wise, except for the hang glider, have had some sort of canopy to protect the pilot's head. And this not having a canopy just feels weird, because this is the Iron Grenadiers. I mean, yeah, in the 80s, this didn't have a canopy, but that was the 80s. You know, we expect a bit more now. So he definitely will lose his points for not having a canopy. I think that you given him a canopy and stretched him out a bit further, but something else I've noticed about the feel of this product is it feels like it's a heavy retool of, of the launch platforms, the missile platforms, the little trailer things. Like, it feels like this kind of main shape is used. But then again, this is supposed to be based off of the air chariot that's Sinestro? No, not Sinestro. That's DC. Serpentor had. And I kind of get that impression from here. But there's a few things in this thing that I'm just like, really? You've done such a good job with textures in the past. Like these double guns on the front. They've got this band of ammunition that runs from the gun all the way around. And usually this band thing, it would be highly detailed with textures, where you have each individual bullet that you could feel, and you could feel the strap that holds them together. And this feels more like a nylon rope or nylon strap for a backpack than it does for a strip of bullets that's coming around and out and back in to fire out of this gun. And the double barrel guns on the front of him are lacking a lot in in sculpt work. They're very smooth and sleek, but they don't have gun barrels. Like they kind of have some dots in there for plugging blast effects in, but they're the tinier blast effects. And for guns this big, you'd want kind of bigger blast effects. And the fact that the gun barrels just sort of end in what feels like solid plastic, except for the tiny little blast effect port, is a shame. They could have had them in just a bit further, so you had you had actual gun barrel feel to them. So he's definitely going to lose points onto that because, like I said before, I have a big expectations on G.I. Joe Classified when it comes to their sculpt work, because their sculpting and the texturing has been their most defining feature for action figures. You know, that's why I get these over Marvel Legends, is because of the attention to detail and the sculpt work. And this gun is lacking in that. And I get it. If this gun was more of a laser gun, then why do you have the bullet things coming out of the sides? You could have done away with those two strappy things that are coming out and just had it be laser guns. And that would make a little more sense than them being bullet firing guns, because of just how untextured these bands of ammunition are. So that's definitely getting some negatives. I like the little missiles that come out of the front. Those are kind of fun. Okay, aerodynamic? No. But fun and cool factor? Yeah, those missiles are just a lot of fun. I like that we get missiles that have the herringbone, so that we can mix and match with other figures that we've gotten in the past, like the hang glider or even the techno drones. pterodomes, whatever they're called. The bubble flying vehicles also have the same pattern for their little missiles, so you could switch out little missiles if you wanted to. And these bigger missiles actually can work. You know what? Instead of taking guesses, we'll just do it real quick on camera. Let's reach over around here, and we're gonna grab. We'll grab this one. Come here, cause you rattle. I like you. Come on, unplug. There you go. So we got our rattler thing, and we got this thing, and I think they're about the same. So let's see if the rattling bomb from the rattler can actually plug into Destro's Disspoiler. Line up that point, plug it in. There you go. Look at that. That's cool, okay? I like the fact that you can switch out weapons from this Disspoiler and your rattler, and most likely the missiles for the Dragonfly. I had to remember the name real quick. Even though I can't see, I still naturally look in the direction of the thing I'm thinking about. But the missiles for the Dragonfly also fit into this pretty well, and most likely the His Tank missiles also. I do enjoy that aspect about G.I. Joe Classified and how everything's been coming together so well. I wish this had a little more texturing to it. I do wish those guns had some more detail. And he had a canopy. The missing canopy just messes with me a bit. But overall, I think this is a fun little vehicle. Is it worth the $100 though? Is it worth the $100? I don't think so. I'm going to be on the boat of people that says this shouldn't be as worth as much as a Vamp, because the Vamp and the Stinger both have the ability for two characters to sit in there. This would have been better had they moved him over and had a double character system. Like this could be some sort of air convertible for Destro. That would have, I think, worked out a bit better than just having Destro in it alone. Having the ability to carry two characters on it just works better, and we need more places to put our characters. So not having a second cockpit in this thing, like you could have pushed Destro's cockpit forwards a bit, or you could have put another cockpit in the front and moved Destro back just a bit more. You could have put another character in here, and I do believe that's a missed opportunity with this figure, with this vehicle. Also, this underside could have had an opening to it where we could have popped it open and stored some things, some extra little bits and pieces. Like when Destro's in this thing, where do I store his shield and sword? Do I just kind of shove them in next to him? There's not a place to store the shield and sword, and that is a negative on this. So if you can find this thing on sale for like $90 or even $80, 80 to 90 is what I think is a reasonable price, but above 100, not unless you really, really, really want this Destro. I think that'd be kind of the deciding factor for you. I'm going to give this toy an A-, because it does accomplish a lot, but it's just got a few negatives that I'm just kind of meh on. Would I have bought it if I'd actually could see it? I don't think I would have. But am I happy that I own it now? Yeah, actually kind of. So I'm on the fence about it, and it's kind of weird. Like, if I had seen it, pictures of it, I've been like, not for me. But holding it in my hands, I'm like, I do kind of like it. He's got some certain charm to him. I've blathered on long enough about the G.I. Joe Classified Series Irongranadier Destro with Disspoiler. Let me know in the comments what you think about this unique G.I. Joe vehicle, because it definitely gets me that G.I. Joe weird feel. I've been Blind Prime, and this has been my co-host, Cream the Cat. I hope that all of you have a wonderful day. Until next Prime, bye-bye for now.